10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, wait a minute. We're going to be having a show today.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Those Are Boats Pie. I'm your boy Cedric D. Got Man Up against Joey, and we are here with you live, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't here last week. First of all, my apologies. I decided to jump on a cruise ship. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Something wrong with this guy.
I definitely want to give props to Jason who created our new intro. So definitely want to give his appreciation. Man up, Joey. What's going on with you guys, man? I feel like we haven't done this in a little bit.
Yeah. See, no. I gotta understand. 2 weeks ago, I was missing. Last week, Cedric was missing. So yeah.
So now we got the entire band back together again. So that's pretty cool. And tonight, we're doing our top 10 X Division champions. So this is something I know that's very close to Joey's heart, right, Joe?
that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I care a lot about it. I still do. I still enjoy watching it on Impact Wrestling. I feel like just now they're starting to get back to, starting to work on getting it back to where it should be and giving it its identity again. And there you go. You got Trey Miguel is the current champion. And tonight we're going to be talking about our top 10 favorite X Division champions. As you see, I do have an X Division championship belt, the original.
Nice.
Yep, right there. This one's made by Jagu Jan. I did scratch the dang X.
Jagu.
Hashtag you've been Jagu.
Yes, that's right.
Been Jagu plenty of times, let me tell you.
Not more than me.
That's true. There's probably other people too that have been Jagued more than me. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really understand what being Jagued is, but
hey, this
the more I say it, the
like,
weirder it's getting.
No, not really. But if you think about it, remember that show Pimp My Ride? Like, you've been pimped. Man, like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, of course I know.
Okay, all right. So, okay. I'll tell you offline, Joey. I'll tell you offline.
It's all good. Hey, I hope that everyone has done their homework too and has their top 10s ready, because we want to know your top 10s.
Exactly. Oh, we already got opinion already. Caleb said he likes the blue X belt. Let's go around the horn real quick as to which one's your favorite and which one's your least favorite. Caleb said he likes the blue X belt. I'm going to assume he's talking about the one. The one in the middle there, because he said he doesn't like the green one at all. What about you, Man Up?
I'm gonna try to be nice and positive. I like the one that's right up under our logo, there, the top right. It all depends on how y'all looking at it, but that's the one I like the most.
And the one you don't like?
Did you really want me to go there?
Yes, I said what you like, what you don't like. Pay attention, son.
The ones I don't like, I put an S on that, is the two at the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep it nice like that.
There you go. Rosa?
Yeah, this is my favorite one just because I thought it was really unique at the time that it doesn't say champion. It just says NWA TNA X title.
Okay.
And I thought that was really unique about it. Plus, it's a nostalgia thing. Like to me, you'll see with my list later, I have a soft spot for a lot of the guys that held this belt because to me, when this was the belt for the X Division Championship was when they was having some of the best matches. It had the most identity on the card where it was very unique and special.
Yes, absolutely. My favorite. Oh dear gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually agree with Man Up. I like the one in the top right corner. I can't believe I just freaking said that.
Oh wow!
Please do not strike me down or cast bad juju on me for agreeing with Man Up. But I agree. I do like that version of the X Division title as well. And dear God, I don't like the bottom two either. So please timestamp this moment as I actually agree with Man Up on something. So yeah.
That means I'm just wearing him down. That's all that means. I'm wearing him down.
Dear God, no.
So he is talking about the blue one at the bottom because that's what I think about it too. To me, those titles remind me of the Oval IC.
Okay. But and he didn't like the green version. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, Caleb. You like the blue version of it, but not the green version of it. I think both of them suck ass. What say that? Okay, my bad.
Look at you.
See, that's a little bit of passion there, man.
To me, they do look a little bit like the Oval IC with an X on it.
Okay. All right. With that said, guys, you know what we do on a Wednesday. We go ahead and get started with this edition of Bells and Bells. We're gonna go start off with my main man Broseph at his number 10. Make sure you guys have y'all number 10 ready because we're gonna go with the ours. Then we want yours. All right, Joseph. Who you got?
All right, my number 10 is the X Division pioneer himself, Jerry Lynn.
Okay.
That's the man that they based a lot of what they wanted the X Division to be based on. I'm a huge fan of his. I can go down his accolades. But prior to this, he was the ECW World Champion, But and then I think a lot of his matches with Rob Van Dam kind of inspired a lot of what they wanted the X Division to be, kind of mixed with the WCW Cruiserweight division.
Okay.
Which Jerry Lynn was also a part of for a while.
Okay.
Jerry was a 2-time champion. Wasn't always active in the division after that. His career slowed down. But a lot of his early matches with AJ Styles on NWA TNA were something to behold. Like Jerry gave AJ a lesson in pro wrestling hard and fast in the ring.
Nice. Love it.
All right, Man Up. The spotlight's on you. You bet not disappoint me.
Oh, I'm finished too right now, right off the bat. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way because I got to because it's Cedric. That's why.
No.
This one here is more of a shot at Joey because he said this offline, and I'm talking about my number 10 is Suicide.
Oh, I'm not going to crap on that. I just wasn't a big fan of the costume and everything, but it was either Christopher Daniels or T.J. Perkins and Kazarian at one point. I think several guys were Suicide under the mask.
Yeah, I kind of liked that gimmick though. I kind of liked it.
It was from the TNA video game. That's where the character came from.
Okay,
but I liked it. I liked him because he's a one-time champion for a total 102 days, and I liked it his style a little bit. His craziness, I guess you could say, and it was pretty smooth to me. I love it. Don't get me wrong, and I wish. I don't know. I don't know why he no longer went after that. I don't know what happened, but
they changed his name to Manic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then T.J. Perkins had the character, and then changed the costume, and that's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Suicide for me is my number 10. Yeah. Oh, you got Cedric?
No problem. My number 10. I got the current X Division champion Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel is currently in his second reign, and he's in regards to combined time. He's moving up the ranks. Like he's currently at number 8. In 2 days, he'll pass Jay Lethal in regards to most cumulative days as X Division champion.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate his work. Prior to being become champion, his work with the Rascals, Desmond Xavier, and
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. So, none in the comment. Moving forward to number 9 there, Joseph.
Nobody give us their number 10s. Come on now. And did Trey Miguel, does he have the Monster Energy drink logo spray painted on the belt? That's what it looks like.
It looks like it, don't it?
It looks like the Monster M.
I was kind of looking like that. Like, is that NWO? His version of the NWO spray paint?
Now, to me, it looks like Monster. Maybe he's all amped up on too much caffeine. All right.
He's working on the sponsorship money, brother.
All right. Who you got, Joey?
All right. My number 9 is another pioneer of the X Division, one of the early stars of it, who recently returned to Impact Wrestling, and he just happens to be a 5-time X Division champion. I'm talking about Frankie Kazarian.
Okay.
And Kazarian holds a weird distinction of at one time being a co-X Division champion with Michael Shane also. But there you go. He's had various versions of the championship belt. I'm very excited to see that he returned to Impact after having a couple of years of his career wasted in AEW. And now he's back where he'll be able to shine. And I look forward to seeing him hopefully have some more X Division matches before he decides to hang it up.
Absolutely. And
he's one of the guys I love watching in Ultimate X matches.
Oh, exactly, and we're gonna definitely touch on that a little bit as we move on with the show. Man up, who you got at your number 9?
Well, my number 9 is gonna be a 6-time champion. I'm talking about Austin Aries. If I said their last name right, I think I did. But
okay.
Yeah. 373 days, man, was to me was from what I can remember a few times of him holding it. I think he was, in my personal opinion, one of the best to hold it, if not the best, in my personal opinion. I think
he's definitely one of the ones that become synonymous with the X Division Championship.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he's on my list. And I'll touch a little more on it once we get to him. Absolutely.
Yeah. To me, I think just like you would cement certain belts with certain wrestlers, in my mind, I cement this belt with him. That's how I look at it.
Well, with you saying that, it makes me curious as to how we go up. Being you have him at your number 9, but I'm curious. But we're gonna definitely get there. We definitely gonna get there. At my number 9, I a man who held the X Division title one time, and quite frankly, he's the current X Division. He's the current Impact World Champion, and I'm talking about Jay Alexander.
Nice.
Exactly. He had a good 5-month run before he cashed in on option C. To become world champion. We're going to touch on that a little bit later on, because that's going to be Joey has his opinions about that, but we're gonna come back to that. Caleb has an opinion there for you, Joe. He said Joey's number 1 needs to be either Shark Boy or Brian Kendrick. I think Shark Boy
did. I don't think Shark Boy is a former X Division champion.
That good point. So Brian Kendrick went by default, Joey, and he's your number 1. Got it.
I guess you'll have to stay tuned and see. I want to know, Caleb, who the hell was your number 10 and number 9? Where the hell are they, Caleb?
Exactly.
That's what I want to hear from you, man.
Exactly.
Oh,
all right.
Oh man. So Joey, who's your number 8?
Are we back around to me?
We are.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right. We were talking about him offline. One of the best, and I say pure wrestlers, one of the best, greatest wrestlers I've ever had the pleasure of witnessing in my entire life. is my number 8. He's a 2-time X Division champion as well. I'm talking about Douglas Williams.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Love this guy.
I love it.
This guy was, to me, the closest thing is, I mean, he was kind of that where you had Dean Malenko in the cruiserweight division. Doug Williams was that pure wrestler in the X division that could do a lot of the high flying stuff and stuff like that too. But you paid money to see this guy do that kind of ground and pound wrestling. But his style worked well with the high flying style, offsetting it.
Yes,
and I love Doug Williams. Still to this day, I was happy when he was back on NWA recently. He's the guy I wish would come back to Impact and do one of those like Ultimate X matches again or something.
Didn't he team up with somebody in NWA?
Yeah, he was tag team champions with Harry Smith in the NWA, and he was also a TNA World Tag Team Champion with Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
British Invasion.
There you go. The name was on the tip of my tongue. I had to remember. So absolutely. I'm glad he made your list. It was that was like number 11 for me right there. Yeah. It's like, so I'm glad we was able to showcase them tonight. Man up. Spotlight's on you.
That's the Doug Williams you got.
Laughing at Joey right there. My number 8 is going to be the 3-time champion, Mr. Christopher Daniels. Excuse me, Christopher.
Sir.
I put an F on that, but yeah.
Sir.
Extra F. But yeah, I mean, just
there you
come on. What else needs to be said? He's holding Joey's favorite version of the title as well, too. Look at that.
I love Christopher Daniels. Like,
man, Christopher Daniels is one of those guys who you can watch any of his matches and be freaking.
Still to this day, I will watch him wrestle.
Yeah, I watched a lot of his matches, so I had to put him on there too as well.
He just wrestled on the inaugural episode of the Return of Ring of Honor here, where he's in his 50s now, and he can still go.
Exactly. You brought up about Kazarian going back and whatnot. I wouldn't mind seeing Christopher Daniels go back to Impact.
Yeah,
and show them how to do it.
Yeah, really. If you're listening, Impact Wrestling, this year's Slammiversary, let's have an old school X division, old school Ultimate X with a bunch of like classic X division guys in it.
Oh man, that's a good one. Hey, you never know. Might happen.
Yeah.
All right, who you got there, Cedric?
Moving on to my number 8, I got Chris Sabin. I got him at number 6. One of the originals of the X division. One of the pioneers. One of the guys who helped put Ultimate X on the map.
Yes.
So I much respect, and he's from the 313. For goodness sake. Motor City. I'm all about that, man. So Chris Sabin is
8-time X Division champion too. I don't know if anybody held it more than him.
Nobody held it more than him.
Nice.
I freaking
really helped define it for sure.
Absolutely. All right. I'm just going off script for a minute, guys. Right. Just bear with me. To everyone who's watching right now, and you haven't put in number 10, number 9, number 8, shame on you. Shame on you.
We're doing this because people in the group said they wanted us to do,
I'm just saying, and I may get some heat for what I'm about to say, but all of y'all who are not putting in y'all picks right now, y'all are as wrong as Man Up right now. Y'all really are.
Oh, come on now.
Exactly. Y'all are just as wrong as Man Up. So if you aren't putting it in there, this is for y'all as well. I'm just gonna put it out there.
You're muted, Cedric.
Unmute yourself.
I'm just it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I just want to let y'all know that y'all need to get y'all act together, y'all. Y'all need to get y'all act together.
Hey.
What's up? Number 7.
We're all the way around to number 7 now. All right. Number 7 to me is the guy that kind of, when they say the X division isn't about weight limits, it's no limits. I think of this guy. I think about Samoa Joe.
There it is.
Yeah, 5 times. Yep, with the X division title. Still, that triple threat with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, still the best X division match I think of all time.
Oh my God, man. Yeah.
Literally, that was my number 7 as well.
There you go. Right into it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Joe was the true big guy that could work the style that the smaller guys could work. And
but
yeah, unbelievable what he brought. He had that long undefeated streak. You know, he was a couple of years. He got there a couple of years after the X Division kind of started, but everybody knew him from Ring of Honor, having that long run as Ring of Honor World Champion. So he brought that credibility to it, and then fit right in the X Division with the kind of the cruiserweights, kind of the smaller guys. But here he was, the big bully of the X Division.
I love it. I love
it.
Yeah, remember that chant, Joe is going to kill you, of course.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Awesome. Good stuff. Man, Joey basically covered what you...
Basically, because we all know Samoa Joe was a savage, so the only thing I can add to that is 350 days total as the champion, you know.
Exactly. I got him a little higher. We're gonna see him again. But my number 7 is Austin Aries, and I just want to reiterate, just piggyback off of what Man Up said when he brought up Austin Aries. Austin Aries introduced the option C clause in regards to cashing in the X Division title for a shot at the world title. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a difference of opinion here at Bells and Belts. I feel one way about it. Joy feels another. I feel that that was a good thing in regards to with the X Division title being a secondary title in Impact Wrestling. I think this was a good way. I'll say, okay, good way to, all right, I'm a cash in to get a shot at the title. Joey, you feel different, don't you?
I don't think of it as a secondary championship. I think it's a separate division. It kind of had its own identity. Okay. And I think that's a point that when Jeff Jarrett was kind of in charge of I think that's a point that kind of got driven home when like AJ Styles won the X Division championship again after winning the NWA World Championship. It was kind of like he wanted it to be like, hey, this is not a step down. I'm just returning to the X Division where I want to wrestle this style again and stuff like that. It was a unique style, an X Division, a different style of wrestling, a different thing they were doing instead of, the world heavyweight title picture and stuff like that. To me, that's when, the X Division kind of started to die and lose its identity. It's like you got guys, it's like, well, this isn't good enough anymore. Now I've got to use this to cash in and stuff like that. And to me, that just, it's like a lot of the decisions that Hogan and Bischoff made, to me, are part of what killed the identity of TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling to begin with. And I feel like, again, the more crap they did like that, the X Division just became less special and lost its identity entirely.
I get what you're saying with that. I don't. I guess as from a fan perspective, I know with our minds kind of programmed to how Money in the Bank was an opportunity to get a shot at the world title. Option C was kind of like that WWE equivalent, but to your credit, what you're saying, X Division was special, and that kind of like took some of the luster off of it, right?
Yep, and then again, that's looking at TNA through WWE goggles. Right. You're looking at it expecting WWE on TNA, and it's like, to me, it's like, oh, this makes sense because WWE is doing that. And it's kind of like, no,
I would say I get what you're saying. I'm not saying it like makes sense, but it's like it's like I don't know. It's like that's something to like. Oh shoot, he's doing this. You know that oh wow factor. Not granted, X Division, the matches itself gives you that oh wow. I think we could definitely talk about some of the Ultimate X matches for one, but it's that having that one thing that say is it possibly going to turn it in, you know, to get a shot at the title, or you know, I don't know.
I
It's
think
not a
what
spontaneous
it
thing,
was.
though.
I think what it was is just adding their own spin to it, because we all know it's a copycat business, you know, but they just put their own spin on it. That's what I'm thinking.
I kind of think of Feast or Fired more of that than option C.
Yeah,
because they literally used a briefcase gimmick. They just went different with it, but still, it's kind of like
because it's a copycat lead, so of course.
Yeah. Feast of Fire. Did that first remember, Joe? Did that come during that era as well?
I think so. I can't remember. Yeah, it is definitely in the 2010s. It's just like okay.
Yeah. Yes. So that. All
I mean,
right,
it was
so
unique. Don't get me wrong. 4 briefcases and one of them had a
so,
pink slip in it.
Okay. Nice.
Exactly. Nice. All right. So
nice.
Caleb, thank you for doing your full list. So we had
just threw the whole thing out there.
At 10. he did. Caleb said, "I'm going to get out the doghouse right now." So we got Sonata at 10, Suicide at 9, Homicide at 8, Saban at 7, Speedball Mike Bailey at 6, Kazarian at 5, Ace 4, Joe at 3, Daniels 2, AJ Styles at 1. That's a pretty good solid list.
Okay.
Sonata with the L's when he was on the excursion, wasn't it, Joe? I think.
What's that? Wait, what?
Sonata when he won
Sonata,
the title. Was he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he was with New Japan at the time at all. I don't know if he was on excursion or if he was signed, but he wasn't with New Japan.
Okay.
We made it to number 6 there, Joseph.
All right, my number 6 is one of the more recent X Division champions, a guy I'm a huge fan of. He's in Bullet Club. He's one half of the current Impact World Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about Inevitable Ace Austin.
Oh, second ducking now.
Okay.
Basically, he's Gambit.
Okay, Ace. Okay, all right.
No, but I'm a huge fan of this guy. Unbelievable. If you haven't seen this guy wrestle, what the hell have you been doing? Like this guy, you're laughing. You probably hadn't seen him wrestle. So.
No, I'm just laughing because you're talking about what the hell have you been doing?
This is a guy you need to see.
I saw him wrestle in Austin once. Awesome freaking talent, man.
Yeah, he's truly special. He's got something to it. I liked it. He's recently done some tours in Japan, and he had the X Division title with him when he and Chris Bay were in the Super Junior tag tournament over there, and then he was in the Best of the Super Juniors. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable guy there. I know they are. I know that we have not seen the last of Ace Austin as an X Division champion. He's already had it 3 times actually, but I won't be. There you go. Something about Sonata there. He was with Wrestle 1.
Okay. Appreciate that, Caleb.
Yeah, they gave us a fake Great Muta, the Great Sonata. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that crap. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Ace Austin, Chris Bay, the current Impact World Tag Team Champions. So
I like the nod to Gambit with the card gimmick and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of Gambit from X-Men.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when I saw him in Austin, he was doing a little magic tricks too. That was pretty cool too. I like that. Man up!
Oh, shucking now. Yeah, I already know what time it is. It's Rob Van Dam.
No, sir. No,
that's my number 6 right there.
No, sir.
Why not, sir? Why not?
All right. I might allow this one. I might allow this one.
Come on now. You know, Rob.
I might allow this one.
Well, if you want to talk about somebody's size and stature, you know, that fits that division, you got to say Rob Van Dam. I mean, he's a great talent. We all know that, what he's done over his career. But Rob Van Dam, come on, man. You can't deny that. You know. So
never that.
So you know, Rob Van Dam, that's the man. 100 grand right there.
Man, shoot, man, just give you him on a just give you Rob Van Dam, and you're a happy man. I got you. No worries.
I would have rather had 90s Rob Van Dam as X Division champion when he was not so banged up and he could.
Right.
But yeah,
I mean, that's true. That's true. But you know, hey, at least he was still going.
To be on the ground floor when they started that up. Could you imagine and that and Rob Van Dam to that triple threat with Joe Daniels and the freaking.
Yeah.
I still say Joe would have won, but yeah, that would have been good. You don't think so?
Maybe. Sure. Why not? Yeah, we'll see. All right. My number 6 is Michael Shane, and I'm what the match is he was one of the first ones to be in Ultimate X. Yeah. And he won the first Ultimate X match. Okay, man, have you watched any of the Ultimate X matches?
Oh, have I? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that match continued to impress me because you didn't have a ladder. Ladders were not allowed in Ultimate X. You had to them damn wires were across. You had to crawl. You had to climb across them damn cables.
Yeah. And
grab that freaking belt. Much props to that, because
see, and that's why I say, you know, that's talent. That's talent.
That's one of the things with the identity of the X division.
And the 6-sided ring. It was much more impressive with that.
Ooh, please talk about that, Joey.
Yeah, Joey loves the 6-sided ring. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it fit the X division. It just made more sense when it was much more impressive with the 6-sided ring with the big X cables up there and the belt hanging. But yeah, unbelievable stuff. Also, Michael Shane is also known as Matt Bentley.
Exactly.
He did have to change his name due to Michael Shane of the Shane twins trademarking his name.
And also the cousin of one Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, also.
Yep, he's talented. He's a talented guy. Again, had the distinction of being a co-X Division champion with Frankie Kazarian at one time.
Exactly. So yeah, we at number 6. Caleb had Speedball Mike Bailey. We're at 5, Joe, and we're looking pretty good on time as well.
Yeah. All right, my number 5 is Chris Sabin.
Okay.
Huge fan of Chris Sabin, still to this day. Glad to see he's still doing it. Again, over the course of the title's history, you won't find a guy that's been more successful. Again, 8 times champion. He's definitely one of the OGs of the X division, going way back to pretty well the very beginning, the first year of the company and stuff. You know, just another tremendous guy trained up there by Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore trained half that damn division. But you know, again, just the talent he was able to find and train back then is unreal. And
absolutely. Not necessarily about announce something I've got not just one of the faces of the X division. He like one of those faces that synonymous with Impact Wrestling too. Would you agree, Joe?
Yep, glad to see him still there doing his thing, and they just lost their Impact Tag Team titles, but they also won the Game Changer Wrestling Tag belts, and they're still the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team champions. So the Motor City Machine Guns are still going strong, still a major part of Impact Wrestling, and I don't see it ending anytime soon.
Nice. Exactly. Nice. That's very nice.
Like to see even get number 9 though. Number 9. One day.
Okay.
Man, I need your number 5, sir.
Well, my number 5 is going to be kind of controversy, and I'm talking about Mr. Say what now?
Sorry.
What the hell was that?
An ad on an app that I didn't know was going to happen.
All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna try this again. Man up.
My number 5 is gonna be a little controversial. I'm talking about Mr. Six Pack X-Pac right there. He held it one time for a grand total of.
Let me get my drink.
Wait, what's controversial about Six winning the X Division title?
Well, because I think he should have held it longer than 14 days, 2 weeks.
Well, that's kind of the nature of the TNA pay-per-views back then.
Yeah.
A lot of switching, and Sean Waltman.
But see, here's the thing, though. When you want to talk about somebody who is fit for this kind of division, here go another guy that is fit for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And we all know he's world talented.
All right, but here's the thing as well. You also got to keep in mind at that time when he won the title, TNA was definitely in their infancy. There weren't that many folks who were actually signed with them, and Jeff Jarrett did a lot of bringing folks in. Yeah, and he was one of those folks that they brought in to help get them over a bit. So. Yeah.
I know that, but it's just I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at the talent of X-Pac. So, but
he wasn't in a good place then. So I think he had a lot of issues at that point, and so
he did.
I'm sure that had something to do with why it was a short run.
He did, but and I know what Cedric's saying because a lot of people, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? But a lot of people do that. Bring in people just to try to promote or bring them up, whatever. I know.
Because I guarantee to bring them in week in. With, yeah. If that was the case, I don't know if they would have been there. TNA will still be here because that was a freaking lot. But I think he did what was asked of him, whatnot, and what they needed at that time there, Joe.
He just didn't know he was in the match.
Just look at that face on Joey when he said that.
I mean, it's very true. He said it himself. He's like, I don't even remember wrestling AJ Styles.
Jeez. So yeah. Hey, he's your number 5 favorite. So it's all good. My number 5 favorite is Samoa Joe. Like I said, I had him a little bit freaking higher, man. The intensity that he brought to the TNA, like you said, that big freaking bully, and his ability to work with the smaller talent and put them over and whatnot. But I will admit, man, Joe's walkaways are freaking
yes,
classic, man.
Yes, when you think you're finna hit a move,
Let's walk the other direction. Just take it.
I've never seen nothing like that before. The way he would do it, it was just so smooth and like
you wouldn't see it coming. Yeah,
he didn't care.
I freaking loved it though, man. I loved it. Oh man. Yeah, at 5, Caleb had Frankie Kazarian. We're at 4, Joseph.
All right, my number 4 is the leader of Team Canada himself, the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorites, and everybody just seems to want to do his move.
Everybody. That was that new hotness, man. Oh, that sick flip file driver.
Yeah. Dang, I love Petey Williams, man. He was another pioneer of the X Division. I love the Team Canada gimmick with Scott D'Amore and Eric Young, Bobby Roode, Johnny Devine, all those guys. They had a great faction that really was a big part of TNA in the early days. And Petey Williams, man, God knows, like the matches he had, Maple Leaf Muscle in that Steiner Math promo with Big Papa Pump.
Oh, Lord, don't do Steiner Math. Don't do Steiner Math.
Don't do it.
We won't do that. We're talking about Petey right now. Little Petey Pump. Little Petey Pump.
Man.
What to say, man? Loved. He was one of those guys that I remember when AJ did return back to the X division, he thought he was going to walk right in and take the title from Petey, and Petey beat him. And so that's why I say it wasn't a secondary title when you had a guy that was just NWA World Champion come back to challenge, and Petey stood his ground and said, "No, this one's mine." AJ would eventually get it from him, but still, he had to work for it. So
yeah. He's on my list as well. So spoiler alert. So we're gonna revisit it a little bit more. Man up, who you got at number 4?
Well, I want to ask y'all a quick question. Do y'all think this person should have? Do y'all think this person should have ever been a world champion? But I'm talking about Mr. Jay Lethal, 6-time for a grand total of 294 days.
Yes, Mr. Jay Lethal. Yes.
Dang, what the? Okay, that's Matt Seidel.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. I forgot to close it out. My bad. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, he cut some of the best promos, in my personal opinion, especially on Ric Flair. That was funny as hell when I first saw
Woo
that.
Off.
I think he even did a Hulk Hogan one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But
he does. He does.
Oh, okay.
Mostly does a Ric Flair and a Randy Savage, though. That's the good.
He does.
Yeah.
I've heard him do a Hulk Hogan one as well.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure. I thought so. But yeah, what else can you say about this guy? Even the gear he got on right here kind of reminds you of Macho Man. I think this man is super talented. Like Joey always said, this man is very talented. So I think he should have been and rose up in the ranks, you know what I'm saying, to do something. I'm not knocking the X division, but I think he should have rose up to the ranks to go something a little higher.
Well, he did. It's a little something called evolution. His time in X division was a start with part of his journey. Because that prepped him for what he did in Ring Around Our Necks. Absolutely. So
gotcha.
Spoiler. He's coming later in mind. But at number 4, let me do this right. I'm going to take that down. So at number 4, I got the man himself, Mr. Christopher Daniels.
Yeah,
Mr. I like to call him Mr. I can do anything, and I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you with me, because he could freaking do it all, and he brings out the best in everybody.
Absolutely.
Hey Joe, I got a comparison. I got a comparison to you. Christopher Daniels was the Bret Hart of the TNA division.
I never thought about that.
Think about it. A man who could do everything in the ring. Okay. Mm-hmm. Smooth, technical, got the freaking knowledge, the psychology, and he can bring the best out of somebody. That's what I think of in that era of TNA. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay.
Very.
Yeah. We are at 3, and apparently Caleb like making us laugh. So Caleb, thank you for dropping these little nuggets while we're on live, trying to make us freaking laugh. I'm gonna remember that in a couple of weeks when a certain somebody is on the show. Joy, you want to go and give that spoiler real quick?
Well, hopefully he'll be there, but yeah. On the 22nd, we will be talking top 10 Ring of Honor tag team champions. We're planning on having Caleb there, so long as he's able to. But
exactly. So if you on that show, Caleb, I can make you laugh as well. I'm just saying. Oh, okay, Joseph, number 3.
All right, my number 3 is Jay Lethal. You don't even have to probably show the picture again. We won't spend too much time on it, but I mean, God knows, man. Black machismo.
I'm gonna do it just because.
Yeah. Jay Lethal was awesome. He's another guy that kind of came in around the same time Samoa Joe did, but he was a lot less experienced.
Right.
And that's a lot of why Jay Lethal didn't raise up and become like a TNA world champion or anything. He was still pretty green when he got to TNA, but he came up. Right. He came up quick. Great wrestler. And again, I'm a huge fan of him in Ring of Honor. So I definitely loved it. I liked his tag team with Austin Creed, aka somebody you might know, but
yeah.
Consequences
Creed, I believe his name was in Impact. Yeah, Jay Lethal was my number 3 as well. There, Joseph, as nice. Well. So yeah. I'm glad I'm on the same page with you. I hate freaking agreeing or having anything in common with a certain co-host on this freaking show, man. So, thank you for bringing me and restoring my hope and my faith in the integrity of this show by me not having to agree with another freaking person who tends to be wrong all the time.
Really?
So, yeah, I got Jay Lethal at number 3 as well. Joey, what do you think about the gimmick with Val?
With SoCal Val, yes, Ms. Elizabeth. It's Sanjay Dutt.
Did Sanjay Dutt, the jealous friend, man?
That was
come on.
They you can tell. I mean, that was funny. I enjoyed a lot of that stuff. It was funny. But
that was good. All right, man. I already gave up my 3.
Well, hey, y'all Jay Lethal. I had number 4. Y'all got a number 3, so we right there neck and neck with him.
No. We had number 3. We were right. You were wrong. You're right. You're wrong. Next.
All right, my number 3 is going to be one that I know is going to be definitely controversial with both of y'all. Definitely. And I'm talking about Mr. Lashley. And I know he was not built for this division.
Oh, we about to dig in on this one.
I know he was not built for this division.
What?
And he's holding one of the belts that I think is just ugly. But hey, he got it. Whatever.
There it is, right there. Okay. All right.
But yeah, right. I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He was a champion. He was an exhibition champion. So you got to give it to him.
So why was he your favorite? Why was he your number 3 favorite X Division champion?
Well,
you tell.
Well, mainly because of who he is. Okay. And I ain't talking about where he's at right now. I'm talking about basically what he's done in this company right here. So if he's a champion, it's up to you to put him on there, but okay. All right. You got and I know he was not built for that division, but hey, he was one of the champions.
I'm just curious how he contributed it all to
now, nothing really. Not much other than being the champion.
We saw in that picture. I just broke my rubber band. We just saw this picture, Joey. How they actually had the 3 different titles. Another person did that in the company as well. I don't think he's been brought up yet.
Well, he might be getting brought up, so I don't.
But it's like should we go there or should we wait to the end?
Wait.
We'll wait to the end. Okay, so with that, we're gonna move on to number 2, Joey.
All right, my number 2 is you say Austin Aries is a guy you think of when you think of the X Division. I don't see how you could say that because there's still one guy I think of when I think of the TNA X Division, and that is the first X Division champion, the guy they built the thing for, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Of course, absolutely.
What the hell? Absolutely. Like that to me is, no matter how many years go by, and 30 years from now, if I'm still around, I will still think of AJ Styles when I think of the X Division, because that.
And look, he has that belt, Joe.
Yep. Taylor made for it. They pretty much created the thing for him, and he was the centerpiece and the star of it, like for several years. There's no title I associate with more for AJ Styles. I don't care how many championship belts he's won. The one I think of Most of all with AJ Styles.
Uh-oh.
X Division champion.
Caleb said,
he's not my number one favorite, but he's my number 2 favorite. And I'll get to who my number 1 favorite is.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, man up. You're number 2. You're number 2.
My number 2 is going to be another guy that held multiple titles in the company.
Oh God. Okay, so now we get to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we get to talk about it.
And I'm talking about he held them all at the same time too. So yeah, I'll put him up there. Y'all already know who it is. Y'all want to see? There you go. Yep. I mean, hey, he was a champion, so you got to put him on there.
Hold on. You got to put him on there because he had the belt?
Well, you know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, you know, he was an X Division champion. Why they give it to him? Hey, I already know it was to promote that division a little bit more. I already know that's what it is. I mean, why else would you give it to him? Yeah, it's Kurt Angle.
Joy, we're gonna touch this after we finish the countdown. We'll touch on it.
Oh man,
my number 2 is Petey Williams.
Nice.
I mean, you kind of took my thunder with the Joy, but the match he had with AJ Styles, man. That match stays up when he jumped off the second rope into the Canadian Destroyer. That stays in my freaking mind. Whatever I think of freaking Petey Williams, that's like that memory is ingrained, man. And it was like that perfect storm. Him having the freaking title, Team Canada running roughshod, man.
He was a dominant champion in that first
one. He
was. And that was the thing. When AJ was off wrestling for the world championship, Petey was holding it down.
Yes.
Like, he held that X Division down while AJ was doing that. So that's why I love that when AJ came back, he took the L and Petey beat him.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. So, we have made it to number 1s. And we're gonna change this up a little bit there. Man up. Who you have for number 1?
Joey, can you do me a favor and go ahead and hold up that belt for me, please, kind sir? You already know who it is because Joey's been talking about him this whole show, basically. That is my number 1. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. And like Joey said, he is the first one to ever hold his title. And I just learned something earlier when Joey said this, because Joey said he had him as number 2. I did not know they built the division for him and around him. Did not know that. Learned something new today.
Yeah.
But yes, I've seen this man wrestle with this title. It's awesome. It's amazing. When I first saw him, though, I will be honest with you, I was like, damn, he looks different from what he does now. But, you know.
Well, shit.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah. Well, it is.
AJ Styles, to me, it's just the best one ever.
It's 20 years old, by the way.
I know, but
it's 20 years old.
It's just that when you go back sometimes and you look at things, you're like, damn, really?
Just a very different AJ Styles back then, too. You're not going to see 40-something-year-old AJ do a spiral tap from the top rope.
You're not.
Oh, no.
At least I hope not.
Might kill himself.
Hey, Joey. I think hell is frozen over because I have AJ Styles as my number 1. And that means I have the same thing as freaking Man Up. What is this world coming to, Joey? In which we live in a world in which I have something in common with Man Up.
Well, we also live in a world where people think AJ Styles' coolest move is a springboard forearm.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that his finish now? The phenomenal forearm?
Yeah, but who said that's the coolest?
Oh, there's some out there.
Whole generation of people that think that's like
Okay. I just leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I'm not knocking it, but okay.
Okay. And
it's a
Joey
shitty finish.
at number one, Joey.
All right, my favorite X Division champion of all time is Shark Boy. No, I'm kidding. It's the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels.
I think we all had him on our list today, didn't we?
Yeah. I have CD as my number one favorite of all time, just because, like you said, this guy was kind of he had already been around the business 10 years by the time TNA started. This is a guy that had many matches in WWE and WCW, and for some reason, they would not give him a deal. And kind of the TNA X Division was our first chance to see Christopher Daniels in a major company doing something and building a division and really get to see the best come out in him. And to me, he's just as synonymous with it as AJ is.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
I remember back at Fort Gordon when I was in 1998 they had a wrestling show there. I was there. I saw them set up the ring and everything. That's the first time I saw Christopher Daniels wrestle live.
Yeah.
But back then that was when Christopher Daniels had hair.
Yeah, that's how the bleach blonde hair or whatever until he started going bald.
This one he had the black hair, but he was balding though.
Yeah,
he was bald. He was balding even then. So that was to go from there to X Division to Ring of Honor to now. It's like wow. It's like
he's an institution, and that goes. People often talk about, and we talked about. Does somebody have to be in WWE to have a true legacy and be a legend in the business? And I think Christopher Daniels is a guy that's a perfect example of that. That he has blazed trails wherever he has gone, in Ring of Honor, in TNA, and AEW, and everywhere he's been. Him. Even late in his career, coming out with the SCU and stuff like that, was like, dude, he just continues to reinvent himself. But yeah. Those matches wouldn't be anything. Joe and AJ owe a lot to Christopher Daniels because, again, he had a lot of the experience that they did not.
Right.
And so he brought that maturity and everything to the ring during that time. He was already, in his 30s and kind of polished.
Exactly. Now to piggyback on that, there's two guys that have been mentioned on this show, Joseph. That were in matches and they wound up winning all the gold. Please share your opinion on that.
I mean, when you have a promoter and person in charge that is such a freaking mark that they just throw every belt on one person just to, to me, it doesn't do anything for the division. It doesn't do Kurt Angle or Bobby Lashley winning that championship did nothing to add prestige to it. If anything, it buried the identity because neither one of those guys fit the style of X Division, fit the identity of X Division, and it just kind of it's just diluting shit. It's just diluting the identity to the point where Impact ended up in the pooper.
All right, all right, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, Joe. Not that's my opinion or anything. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Being who they were prior to coming to Impact Wrestling, and they putting their little hands or their little sprinkle some, for lack of a better word, some of their stardust on them on that and hunting the title. You think you don't think that even that a little bit will help, even just a little bit in regards to that division?
No, or else the company would be in better shape.
Okay.
I mean, it's the point blank. Those guys didn't. First off, those guys didn't really do much for the company at all in the grand scape of things. They weren't. You're talking about. That's a whole nother discussion here. But Kurt Angle coming into the company ended up putting a lot of eyes on TNA at the time. But did he give a return to TNA that was worth the amount of money they were paying him? And I think I'd have to argue no. Because the company would have grown to bigger heights than it did in the United States, and it did not. The company TNA's biggest numbers they ever drew in any respect were in the United Kingdom.
Let's put a pin in that, because I think that there's more meat on that bone, and we're running out of time.
Yeah,
there's more meat for that bone. So with that said, gentlemen, we came in under the time limit this month, this week. So kudos to you guys. We came in under the time limit. We just hit the 1 hour mark, and we thank you guys for watching. Caleb, I saw your comment. Abyss was also an X Division champion at 1.2. We freaking love freaking Abyss. Father James Mitchell was on point, Joe.
Yeah, just not in the X Division.
Exactly. Exactly. With that being said, we come to the end of the show. Man up. For those folks who are on YouTube, what can they do for us?
Well, if you want to watch us more on YouTube and anything we do on there, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that bell and hit all notifications. So whenever we do anything on YouTube, you will be notified. You will see it. You can join in on the fun, give us your opinion, all of that good stuff. Joey, what else can they do for us?
We love it if you join our Facebook group. Just look us up on Facebook, Bells and Belts Podcast. You'll see the logo on there. Please join up, because when you're in the group, you're part of the creative process, and we want to hear your opinions there. And we often have polls in there where you get to vote and decide on topics you want us to cover. This was actually a topic we received several votes on, which is the reason we did it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And next week, with next Wednesday show is another product of a poll as well, which we're doing career retrospectives, and the winner of that was Arn Anderson. He won that poll. So next week we are covering Arn Anderson, but before that, we invite all of you to join us next on Sunday, in which we're doing a spotlight. This is a new show that we're doing. It may not be like on freaking Sundays, whatnot, but it's gonna be, we'll have it from time to time. We call it Spotlight, and we're gonna, and for this show, we're gonna be talking to Ben Walker. He was on our Japan show, and you all got a glimpse, just a small glimpse of his belt collection. This Sunday, we're going all in with his belt collection. So that is an absolute treat. So 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Sunday. Make sure you join us. We'll have the link for that within the next 24 hours. Any parting words, gentlemen, before we get up out of here for this week?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and say thank you everybody for joining us. Hope you have fun. We look forward to growing this thing, and we want y'all to be a part of this as we go from here to here. So what you got there, Joe?
No, I'm grateful for everything too. Yeah. We're still trying to figure it out. If there's any content you want to see, we want to hear from it. Put it in the comments below on here. If there's something else you think you'd like to see us talk about, just go ahead and throw it in there. It might jog us and give us an idea of something we haven't thought of, and that we could turn around and see, if we could fit that in.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you might want to see us do a part 2 or something we already did. So, you never know.
We do that.
Exactly. So until next week, that's Man Up. That's Joey, and I'm Cedric D, and we're out of time. And we will see you all next week here on Bells and Belts.